And tonight, David, thanks to you. We're going to move now to Afghanistan, where tonight President Karzai says he's delivering his final warning to the U.S. after a U.S. airstrike accidentally killed more than a dozen mothers and children. Nick Schifrin, who has spent years covering this region, has the fallout tonight for us here.
In rural Afghanistan, a father grieves his dead children, and his village suffers from a U.S. mistake. The U.S. says the target was a house the Taliban took over, but admits by the time the bomb dropped, the house was filled with women and a handful of children. The U.S. apologized today as the village mourned its dead. The U.S. and the Taliban were fighting only 1,000 feet from my home, he says. In all, 3 houses were bombed. The strike occurred in Helmand, where more U.S. troops die than any other province. The U.S. fights back with the help of airstrikes, but Afghan officials complain bitterly that some of those strikes miss their targets and kill civilians. Civilians are killed by both sides in this war. 2,700 died last year, mostly from Taliban bombs. In village after village I've walked through, most Afghans say the Taliban is their enemy, but they warn they'll turn against the U.S. if mistakes like today's keep occurring.
And Nick Schifrin joins us here at the desk in New York. And Nick, you've been to so many of these towns and villages after incidents like this one. It's so hard to win these people back.
Yeah, David, this is a region where the local culture really demands that people take revenge after an incident like this. So even if these people were for the U.S. and against the Taliban before this incident will mean that they'll take revenge against the U.S. and may even fight U.S. troops. And that goes to show just how fragile some of the progress that the U.S. is trying to make in this region is.
All right, Nick Schifrin with us here in New York. Safe trip back, Nick. We're going to move now to the Army private accused of leaking a mountain of military secrets.